Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and we're here to fix up the bee yard. And I've got my bee yard cleaning crew here. Yay! Got the trail camera going so I can see what if this bear is coming back. I've been watching these hives for the last week, ever since I found out the bear took them apart. And lo and behold, look at what we got here. Bees have returned. They are either robbing, or maybe the colony that was alive has come back. I don't know, but that kind of changes the dynamic of what I was going to do here, because I was just going to do a cleanup, plain and simple. This looks like robbing to me more than anything, because they're basically, this is the first kind of sunny day we've had in a while. Getting a little on the warm side, but it's still pretty cold. But the bees are just kind of almost everywhere that there might be a remnants of honey left over. So maybe what I'm going to do, ooh, a bumblebee went up there, eh? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with the cleaning of this stuff. And maybe we'll just set up a hive or two and see if it'll act as a natural swarm attractant. Maybe I'll catch a hive before I replace them with the bees that I'm going to bring back in. So thanks for joining me. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so it's the day after, and you can see we did a pretty decent cleanup of the yard. We we cleaned up all the broken stuff. But we didn't touch these hives here because there were just too many bees. It was really packed with bees that looked like they were robbing the hives of what's left of the honey that the bear hasn't helped himself to. So, and I wasn't suited up, and my kids weren't suited up, so I didn't want everybody getting stung. So I got the suit on now. I will get those hives lifted, sort of right all the bases, which are all kind of ruined there. I will probably take some of this stuff, which is all winterizing stuff, just get it out of here so the mice don't have a place to live. And then basically, because there's so many bees here, and you can hear them, listen. You see, I mean, that's enough activity that there's got to be some honey in there that these bees are processing or working on. This hive doesn't seem to have much activity going in it, but I'm going to check it all out. I probably will end up inspecting the hives anyway to just see what the frames look like. In that hive over there, there was plenty of honey still left there. So what I'm hoping is that instead of taking these hives away, which was my original plan, I will just set them up, because there's a decent chance that these hives could catch a swarm, right? It's middle of May. End of May to early June is prime swarm time, so I'm still about at least 3 to 4 weeks away from getting my 2 nucs in, so maybe in the meantime I can catch a swarm. Also, if the bear does come back, then I'll know he's in here for good, and I'll have to make plans to get an electric fence going. So that's what the plan is for today. Okay, so I'm going to bring the far hive over to here. Of course, I just discovered I forgot my hive tool, so I'll work with this brush and we'll see how she goes. That is a very heavy box. So that box got to have like 40 pounds of honey in it. Let's have a look. Let's see what we can pull out. That is beautiful. Ready to have at honey. That's 5 pounds of honey there. So here's my dilemma. What do I do now with all this honey sitting here and a bear lurking around? Bees are coming to it, but they're basically just robbing it. Just going to pull out another frame from the middle here. see what it looks like. Yeah, so in the middle here, it's more of a brood frame. So you can see this queen was still quite alive and laying brood when the bear kind of ended things. Now there are no bees in this box, but in the other box there are many more bees. So I'm wondering why that is. I'm going to bring you in for a close-up here. I put the gloves on because these bees seem a lot more frenzied than the other ones. And you can see we've got the old lower brood box down here, which probably doesn't have that much honey in it, probably has mostly brood in it. Still have the queen excluder sitting there. I'll probably remove that. But I'll get these two boxes over here on top of this base, and then I'll probably just leave them alone. Yeah, this one's not that heavy, which you would expect, right? It was mostly brood. It's heavy enough, though. Have a quick look at a frame or two in here, but I don't, well, I do see some honey over here. But again, the middle of these are all going to be brood. Let's see what we've got. This is going to be a big frame of good old-fashioned honey. If I can get it out. Come on, baby. There we go. Oh, look at that. So that side has all been picked away. This side is still looking pretty good. There's a lot of honey in this box. The way I was setting them up basically was the outside 3 frames on each side were honey, and then the inside was brood. So I'm just going to check one of the brood frames as well. But all I expect to see here is either dead brood or empty cells, or combination of the two. Look at that. Hard to tell whether they're making queen cells here or it's just an aberration because of the hole in the frame, but still see it had larvae getting ready to be made, right? And these bees were alive in early March, which is a shame. But c'est la vie. Okay, so the queen excluder I'll just take home. I don't really have a need for it now. I'll just throw this box on top of here. I expect this box to be heavier, although I see the first couple of frames up here don't have any honey. This frame looks like it's jam-packed with honey, more towards the middle. Let's see how it's going to go. As I said, there are many more bees in this box, and it's much heavier. Oh boy. Again, it's got to have like at least 30 pounds of honey in there. Amazing. Well, I'll speak to the reasons why I'm not going to take the honey home. First off, I had left this honey for the bees. Secondly, though, I don't want to get into the whole mess of processing just for a few pounds of honey. The only kind of... I would leave this without even thinking about it, except for the fact that the bear is going to come back. And the more honey that's here, the more the bear is going to want to come back. Look at this beautiful frame of honey. That's like 5-6 pounds of honey. They're just starting to eat it. See how they're just eating it right here at the top end? The rest of it is absolutely perfect. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames like that, which I could extract. Like I said, it's just my judgment call. But I'm going to leave it. These are remnants of the dead bees, I guess. Are you dead or alive? Yeah, they're dead. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to leave this. I've got a trail camera up So far it's just been raccoons that have been coming by and gathering the spoils here. And then I'm just going to monitor the yard for the next 2-3 weeks. Look, I think there's a 99% chance that that bear is going to come back, right? The only thing that might not make it come back is the fact that it has been harassed by the landowner. And this is definitely at the very edge of the bear's range to begin with. So if he didn't have a good experience, he might just not come back. But, you know, the 30-40 pounds of honey that he took is probably a pretty good experience for that bear. I would say so, wouldn't you? So that's it. We'll button this up and then play a bit of a waiting game. And I'll check this out probably every other day. It's a holiday weekend here in Canada, and although we're still COVID crazy, I'm going to take some time away with the family this weekend. And don't tell anybody, because we're not supposed to really. And just not worry about the bees until next week. Then I'll have a look and see if the bear is back, and then make a judgment call from there. I mean, again, the reason why I'm leaving this honey here is that there's a chance that these hives might attract a swarm. If all these bees are foraging, they're going back and telling all their buddies and their queen that, hey, there's some pretty good condos up here that could be available and have honey stores in them. So I'm just going to let that process play out. Maybe I'll catch a swarm or two. Maybe I'll start with more than just 2 nucs in the next few weeks. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I'm a couple of subscribers away from 10,000. So probably the next video might be me showing the hive that I'm going to give away and preparing for that giveaway of a free beehive because of my 10,000th subscriber. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like it. I do appreciate your comments, and I do appreciate your memberships. And thanks for joining 4D Honeybee.